That's a good question.
Okay, looks like we are now. Okay, I just want to
Yeah.
make sure we were on the recording. And then one clarifying question in the chat. So you talked about these different dates. The till between October 2nd and November 2nd, you're saying that's the waiver we have to apply for. Is that correct?
Yes.
TEA?
Yes. So TEA allow for the first four week to go online without asking for any waiver, and our intention is to take full advantage of that, right? Then if we want to extend by another 4 weeks, we have to first come to our board and ask for their approval, right? Once it's approved by our board, is to submit the waiver to TEA. I don't see them denying it. But it's probably going to be more of a formality more than anything. But our plan is to go all the way and take advantage of the second 4 weeks. So that will take us all the way to November 2nd.
Okay, got
Okay.
it.
Now this is considering that the health official here in Hidalgo County does not extend the orders of us not to have in-person instruction, because remember what's happening here might be different again than what may be happening, let's say, again in the East Texas counties, right? So we superintendent here in Region 1 in Hidalgo County have been working very closely together, as well as with the commissioner, the county commissioners, and the judge, and the health officials in the county, to make sure that we only do in-person instruction whatever everybody feels is safe for our students as well as for our staff to restart the in-person instruction. But the goal is the earliest will be November 2nd.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Tube, I have several questions for you.
Yes, sir.
I know you talked a little bit about the surveys, staff getting back to us. When is the feedback given to you, and do we expect that to come back to us in the next board meeting?
Yeah, we can share yes, sir. It's August 3rd is the week. I'm sorry, they have until August 3rd, I'm sorry, to respond to the survey. And I just checked today, we had like almost 300, over 300 responses already this morning.
Great. Now, under option one, I know that you talked about when the school should be starting, and it obviously that's the online start date. The actual online start date would be September 3rd or September 27th. Obviously, September 27th does not affect us if it's online, because September 27th will be the deadline that the officials had told us, local officials had told us that we be closed as a school district. So what would be the actual online start date? I didn't see it on there. Maybe I missed it.
So the county, Mr. Perez, the county um, set up the September 27, I think, or 28, is just for us not to have in-person instruction, but they're on us to conduct our business because we're considered essential, right? So we're allowed to do the online instruction and all that stuff, but no in-person instruction. We are not planning on having any in-person instruction even beyond September 27, 28. We want to extend it all the way at least to November 2nd, right? That's the plan, or that's what I'm proposing, I guess, will be proposed to our board members and everybody.
Well, that's going to affect some of the things that were being proposed, and we'll talk about that later on, especially on your start date, calendar start dates, because that's affected, obviously. And you've asked us to do certain things on it, but we'll talk about that later. Obviously, this with the online start date, the Wi-Fi recommendations that you're asking us to approve here in the future will also be affected, obviously. If it's approved, when do you think that's going to be established for the community, especially for our student community and staff, teachers, to be able to communicate with our students?
Yeah, so the Wi-Fi, I know it's item, we're going to discuss it, item 3 later. I know we have Mr. De Los Santos, Dr. Los Santos, who will be talking about it in a minute. But the plan is if approved today, is to start the construction as soon as possible. I believe we were installing 12 towers, and I think the minute the towers are up and we have the antennas and we can start pretty much sending those signals and Wi-Fi access to our students, so we don't have to wait for complete like a total completion, I guess, of the project before we can start allowing our students to tap into that Wi-Fi access. But my conversation with him is that late September, maybe mid October, but we'll allow him to maybe expand later on it for item 3.
And I think it's the last one I'll cover from this, and that refers back to the health and safety. We didn't talk about any policies to be established within our board or with yourself, obviously, to deter our staff if they're sick and they come and show up knowing that they're sick. How do we, as a board, not as a board, but mainly as you, as superintendent, going to prevent that from occurring? Because we know that is from person to person, is shared, and people continue to show up to our workplaces knowing that they're sick instead of staying home and making sure that their well-being is being served. How are we going to reflect that through our policy if we do establish a policy against that?
It's a good question, sir. It's part of our plan, and staff they know they're not supposed to be reporting to work if they have any symptoms or if they come in contact with somebody. They're supposed to report to their supervisor, and also
Am I the only one that can't hear?
I couldn't hear it. I can't hear either, Colonel, but I just heard you right now.
We are having technical difficulties, okay? just bear with us. Our light is off on one of the main lines for our internet, so we're having technical difficulties.
Got it. Thank you.
It'll take a little bit. Rudy's working on it, our technician. He's here. Thank you.
By the way, they're walking over to the technology room so that they can continue the Zoom meeting. So as soon as they get there, they'll resume the meeting. Could y'all hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you.
Can I say hello to Dr. De Los Santos? It's good to see him. I haven't seen him in a long time.
He looks great, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. For being 50 years old, he looks great.
Hey, thanks, Dr. Valdez. Yeah, I got it. They're still working on it.
Yes, no problem. He's not at the meeting. Where did I go? Okay, I don't see myself.
Dr. Valdez and Dr. De Los Santos, I'm going to take a short break. Be right back.
No, no problem, sir.
Thank you.
Dr. Valdez, we can still see you. Just wanted to let you make sure you knew that. Okay.
Mike. I will. Well, good afternoon again to our board members and our staff and anybody who's a part of this meeting. I do apologize for the technology issues. I don't know if you know, but part of our district lost power because of the hurricane, including part of Donna ISD, right? And Donna, the city of Donna. And then I think we're having this conversation. I think some other areas just lost power and we lost internet connection, so we have to relocate to make sure we're back together again. So again, I apologize for these issues and thanks to Hurricane Hannah, that's the consequences we of all the problem we had with them. So again, sorry about that.
I don't know about that.
So I think last time it was Mr. Perez asking me a couple of questions. Mr. Perez, I don't know if you have any other questions for me or any other board members have about the presentation I shared with everyone.
No, sir, I think you were good. We'll wait on the other stuff that I asked for. We're good. Thanks.
Can they hear me?
Should be good.
I can't hear anything. Why?
Thank you, Mr. Perez. Just for make sure everybody's still online. Can we, our board members, if you can please make sure you let us know you're here. We need to make sure that you still have a quorum, right?
Listen.
Well, I'm in.
Here, I'm here.
I'm here.
We're missing Alicia.
Okay.
Y'all see
Yeah.
what?
Excuse me, Alicia Reina just texted me. She's having internet issues at her home.
Okay, thank you for
She's
that.
joining us as soon as possible.
No problem.
Great. We have four, so
Mr. De Los Rios, this is Rudy. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you all.
Okay. All right. That's Miss Watts. We're
Thank you.
here with Miss Watts.
Okay.
Thank you.
all right. Thank you for your question. So go ahead, Ms.
Let's continue, and we're sorry, we apologize for the interruption of the internet and all that, but we're back on track, so go ahead, Mr. Superintendent, thank you.
Thank you. Yes, thank you again, Ms. Watson. Again, my apologies for all this disruption. So I share with our board the plan, and our plan is to share a more detailed plan with everybody again on Thursday. Really the safety and security of all our staff, our students in mind as we move forward in this really unknown uncharted waters, I guess. I want to share with, I think it was a question about the internet and stuff like that. I want to share with our board members and also anyone on this call the result of a survey we did back in end of May, beginning of June, when we worked with on the task force. So let me just share with you really quickly some of the data that we found when we did survey students, right? So this is the survey results. I don't know if you can see my screen, but the first thing we ask our students, do you have internet service at your home? And we surveyed, we have close to 14,400 students, which we are able to get results or answers from over 11,000. That's 78% of our students were surveyed. And out of that, only 47.87% said, yes, we do have some type of internet connection at home. So less than half of the students who were surveyed, 1,000 of them, said that pretty much you don't have internet at home. And then when we ask them, can you describe the type of current internet connection you have? Is it a poor, moderate, or fast? More than 12% of them said is moderate, and then poor, and then another 25% or so said it's moderate. So out of the 48% of our students, a big chunk of that of them do not have a fast internet connection. As you know, internet connection is so important, especially if we want to do live instruction with, or what's called synchronous instruction with our teachers. And so I just wanted to share this information with you, just for you to know where we stand as far as our students, right? Where they stand as far as internet connection. Also, I know last time we had a conversation. Ms. Cancino, are you on the call? Ms. Cancino? So last time, Ms. Cancino, okay, good, Ms. Cancino, thank you. So we had a conversation about compensation options, and I think, I don't remember, maybe Dr. Valdez or another board member asked about run a different option, right? So I have here with me, I don't know, Ms. Cancino, you're gonna talk about the kind of, the math and when you run your numbers again with the third option. I'm gonna put it out so everybody can see it. Ms. Cancino?
Yes. So on the last the workshop of last week, we presented two options. Option one with a $1,700 pay increase for teachers and nurses, 2%, 3%, and 5% for the other categories. And option two was also the $1,700 for teachers and increase slightly the percents on the other categories. And then we were asked to bring a third option with a $2,000 pay increase for teachers, and that is the cost there at almost $2.2 million. We left the administrative personnel at 3% like Model 2. The clerical and the instructional support also at 5%, and we increased the auxiliary category to 7% for an increase for a cost of $897,000. For option three, you have there the total cost comparisons of all of them. For option three is $4.5 million, which would create a budgeted deficit of $2.2 million based on the other expenditures and revenues. Any questions?
Thank you, Ms. Cancino, for taking care of that. I really appreciate you bringing us that additional option.
Yes, ma'am.
And we did, Dr. Valdez, I know you asked a question about excess teachers. We did look at the numbers again, and we only have 11 teachers, excess teachers, and mainly at the middle school who are on overage list. So we're down to 11 only, just for your information. Now you ask for that number.
Excellent. That's wonderful. That's very good to hear. Thank you.
Okay. So that's for me, Ms. Watts, for a district update, unless anybody has any questions.
Any other questions or anything else? Are we, Mr. Superintendent?
Yeah, so second item, we have discussion and possible action to approve to our request for qualification 061120-323 Financial Advisor Services, and I would like to have Ms. Cancino bring this item to our board.
So the district published an RFQ on June 11th, and it closed on July 15th for a request for qualifications for the financial services. The financial advisors basically provide services to the district, such as debt issuance, debt structure, debt payments, refunding on our existing bonds or any new bond or eligibility or calculations, arbitrage, liability calculations, and continuing debt disclosures publications. We assembled a committee, and I believe it is part of your packet. We had a committee, a 4-person committee. You also have there the tabulation for the 3 firms. There were 3 proposals submitted, one from Estrada Hinojosa Investment Bankers, the Tijerina Galvan Lawrence LLC, and Baker Tilly Municipal Advisors. And there you have the breakdown of the scoring on Exhibit A. Based on the scoring, the committee recommended the Tijerina Galvan Lawrence for financial advisor for the district. Any questions?
Ms.
Ms. Cancino, have we ever had prior services with Tijerina Galvan or Baker Tilly in our school district?
No, ma'am, they are a fairly new firm. At the firm itself, the people that work within the firm have a lot of years, have a lot of experience in the industry, but they are a newly formed entity.
The only reason that I was asking is because on the evaluation criteria,
Yes.
awarded them 3 points on the vendor's past relationship with the district. So, but if they haven't had a past relationship with the district, wouldn't that put Estrada Hinojosa as the first, as the one with the highest total points?
I think that because I don't recall, ma'am, to be honest with you, the discussion here, everybody voted individually, and those were the scores that came up. I think that there was, if kind of score everybody the same, if they didn't know what the relationship was with the district. Because if you know, mainly the person that works with the financial advisor really is the CFO or the finance director. Other than that, most people really don't deal with the financial advisor. So it's a little hard for them to judge on that category.
So it should have been a 0 then, Ms. Cantino?
Sir, I don't know. They scored it as they saw fit.
Yeah, and the other one is the number 3, where it assesses the organizations across the board as them meeting the district's needs. Well, if they haven't worked with the district, they wouldn't have met those needs, but they were assessed the same value.
Well, no, they would meet the needs. All 3 firms would meet the needs because they are all capable of doing these services for the district. The reason why one was scored lower, our current one, the only one that I can say that I had experience personally with of the 3 firms is with Estrada and Hinojosa. I can say that based on, we had an issue on our last refunding, and I think that's affected the scoring.
What was the issue, Ms. Cancino?
There was an amendment not filed on the recent refunding. Let me share my screen. Give me a second. So when we calculated our IFA money, you see right here, the $4.2 million, that's what we budgeted for. When I went and looked at our summary of finances, the latest one as of July something, it was in this month, we are to receive $2.8 million or 2.9, which creates a deficit on our debt service for 1.3 million. When we looked into it, it was because of the last refunding that we had, an amendment hadn't been filed at the time. Now it's been filed.
Okay.
So that's what created this. I don't know that we'll get the funding this year, or it'll come into this fiscal year. We may have to carry it over as a in transit or due from state at the end of the year. I don't know, because of the COVID and the situation. I don't know how fast TA will work on this.
But we'd still get the refund though.
Yes, but I don't know that we'll get it this year.
Right, correct, exactly. Well, I guess maybe my only question was when I looked at the tabulation, because the 2 names didn't sound familiar for the second and third one. And I was just concerned that they were awarded the 3 points on the vendor's past relationship with the district. I don't think they should have gotten the points because we've never worked with them. So if we were to rescore that based on that information, then the recommended one should have been Estrada Hinojosa Investment. And I'm just looking at the numbers.
I can't rescore what other members scored.
Ms. Cantino, I got a quick question. I'm sorry for this. How long has Estrada and Hinojosa done work for Donna ISD?
I don't know, sir. I do know that the reason we went out for an RFQ is because their contract expired. That's the reason why, and it was a 5-year contract, so at the minimum 5 years.
Okay.
I know Dr. De Los Santos is in the audience. Dr. De Los Santos, do you recall how long y'all have been, Estrada Hinojosa has been working with our school district, Donna? Because I know you're very familiar with our school district. I know he's in the audience.
I would also like to point out one thing. The members of the Tijerina and give me the name, Tijerina, Galvan, and Lawrence actually did run the numbers for Donna ISD for many years. They were employed with Estrada and Hinojosa before. So they were the ones running the numbers for all the other previous bonds.
I don't know, Dr. De Los Santos, I don't know if he's maybe muted, that he can't, but I know he was available. So I'd like to know how long they've been servicing our school district. Dr. De Los Santos, are you still in the audience?
We cannot hear you, sir.
I don't think you can hear us.
Yeah,
cannot-
he's muted.
He's
Dr.
muted.
De Los Santos, unmute your,
Your computer.
yeah, unmute it, Dr. De Los Santos, so we can hear you.
No,
He can't.
Can you unmute him, Dr. Azaiz?
let me see. Hold on 1 second. I think Miss,
Rudy,
no, Miss Gonzalez is the only one. She's the,
I have already unmuted him. I don't know why we cannot hear him.
can you unmute him again, please?
Okay.
There we go. No,
We still can't hear him.
no.
Maybe his intercom?
Miss Gonzalez, try again, please, to unmute him. One time. Mute. Here we go.
Well, now,
Yes, you can hear you now.
okay.
finally, thank you.
We have been your servants for about 23 years. And we have done every funding and refunding that you have done there in one capacity or another, as financial advisor or as underwriter for that time. The amendment that Ms. Cancino issued, we filed it on time, and I have communicated with her and Dr. Asais the same communications I've had with TEA, asking when they're going to release the money, and the response from TEA has been that due to COVID-19 and due to the fact that they're working out of their houses, they have not had access to the files at TEA, and that they're working as hard as they can, but that it will be taken care of. The amendment was filed on time. I won't speak to another firm, but we have, there's a young man that worked, that did provide the numbers for Donna ISD with the other firm now. We have 5 people that are doing that kind of work with us in the firm right now, as well as the young man did, with all due respect.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
That's why.
The other firm, Tijerina, is also available if you have any questions for them.
Okay.
I mean, just me, how I feel, I think based on the fact that we don't have experience with the others, I would feel more comfortable maintaining Estrada Hinojosa, and only because they've been in our district for so many years already. There hasn't been any issues or concerns with them. They know our community and our school district very, very well. And I would feel more comfortable with Estrada Hinojosa.
Ms. Watts, are we ready to make a motion on it?
Yes, well, is there any other questions out there? Ms. Reyna's not here. Ms. Colonel, do you have any other questions or anything, sir?
No, I'm ready for a vote here.
Okay,
I'm gonna make-
then we're
I'm gonna
ready
make
for a
I'm
motion.
gonna make a motion to approve to keep the current financial advisors, Estrada and Hinojosa.
Motion
And
by Mr. De Los Rios,
I
I
second.
second the motion. I second the motion.
Dr. Valdez, second. How do you vote, Mr. Perez?
I approve.
I also vote in favor. Is Alisa back online? No? Okay, motion passes. It will be awarded to Estrada and Hinojosa.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir.
Third item, we have discussion and possible action to approve RFP 051820-545 and for the construction of Wi-Fi communication towers. And the vendor is Wi-Fi RS, Tulu Communication. And also we have with us Miss Dr. De Los Santos from the company. If any board members have any questions for him or about the proposal, to help us answer these questions.
No, no question.
Yes, I do. I do have some questions. Now, I know you're gonna have some towers out, and I work with communications equipment, for a while in service. We've had several, not only the towers, but you have repeaters out there. Are we gonna have enough repeaters to help the abundance of folks that we have? I mean, we're talking about 11,000, maybe possibly even 14, 15,000 folks out there, and maybe double that depending on the data that's shared across our towers. Are those repeaters going to be able to assist, or are you going to have repeaters established? I didn't see any on there.
And
Can you hear me?
yes.
Okay. Colonel Perez, first of all, thank you very much for the question. I'd like to go back a little bit and say that what Dr. Aziz mentioned about the time element was correct. If we start saying the 1st of August, it'll be the latter part of September. It's between 2 and 4 months to get the system going the way we have it right now planned. And so it could be the last part of September, or it'll be in October, more or less. And a lot depends on getting the equipment. And the question that you asked about the repeaters is exactly part of the reason that there's that 2 months difference. It's getting the equipment. We think we can. We have the providers, the factories, but as you know, sometimes, especially if there's a high demand, they may get behind. But right now, we think we can. And what gives us a lot of confidence is the 12 towers that Dr. Aziz mentioned. Those towers are going to do a lot without repeaters. The repeaters are going to fill in the holes, the dead areas. Does that answer your question, Colonel?
Yeah, yes, it does. I was just making sure that we have enough, repeaters out there that will assist in the process of the service we're trying to provide our students population. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Any other questions, board members? Okay, no other questions? So,
Make the motion to approve.
I second.
motion made by Mr. De Los Rios, second by Colonel Perez.
Vote in favor?
I also vote in favor, and motion passes. Thank you. Now, the next one, Mr. Superintendent.
Yes, thank you, Ms. Watts. And the next item, we're going to discuss some possible action to approve alternative 2020-21 school year calendar. And I think you received a copy of the calendar. And the main thing is really pushing the start date from August 24th to September 8th for the online instruction. We knew that it's going to be online instruction no matter what, but we're pushing the start date by 2 weeks due to mainly, number one, to the recent increase in the number of cases related to COVID-19 and the hospitalization. We thought that it'll help to have everybody stay at home and stay put, maybe to help reduce or lower the curve, right? And flatten the curve, if you will. So that's the number one, really, the reason. The number two reason is to allow for more time to make sure that our students have the equipment they need when it comes to devices, but also hopefully we'll get some towers. We may not get all of them done by September 8th, but we get some towers operational by September 8th. So that will help our students have that internet connection early, right? And then the third thing is to allow our staff to prepare more for this new year. It's going to be completely different. I mean, we never really had to go 100% online. I mean, we did it in March, but if we really want to take it to another level, we need to ensure that we are giving them enough time and the resources they need so they can really provide high quality world-class education, right, for our students, even when they are at home, from home. So those are really the key points why we kind of discussed this pushing back by 2 weeks. I did had a conversation with other staff members, and we involved our DLPAC committee, right, our district committee, to help us, talk about this and decide. And the majority agreed that it will be in the best interest of everyone to push the start date from August 24th to September 8th. So I'm bringing forward this calendar, hopefully for your approval. And so that, again, we get started on September 8th instead of August 24th.
Make the motion to approve that.
I second.
Any discussions? Anybody have any questions to us? All right, then we go for motion. Motion made by Mr. Perez,
I second it.
second by Mr. De Los Rios. Dr. Valdez, how do you vote?
In favor?
I also vote in favor and motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we go
The last
into, go ahead, sir.
No, I'm sorry, Mr. Watts. The last item I have is discussion of possible action to approve the award RFP for the student accident athletic insurance for the 2020-21 school year, with the option to renew for 2 additional years. And I think the company we're bringing forward is called Texas Insurance, and we did use them last year too. So this is could be kind of like a renewal, I'm sorry, of the company.
Board members, any questions?
Yeah, hold on, I have a question. Dr. Az, the only question that I have, and I was thinking about it because I was looking at I'm looking that they all run pretty high in price, but I know that we may not even have athletics this year.
Yes.
We may not be able to deploy all the sports. So my question was, is there any way that this can be taken back to the 3 people that submitted and maybe suggest or maybe recommend best and final best offer, or final and best offer, and maybe it can be prorated? Because what if we don't have sports the entire fall semester? We're going to be paying for something that we're not using because of the situation. I think we can get a better price, because what if we don't play the entire year and we paid $500,000? I'm just thinking of how to save money, or if that's been considered or negotiated with the companies or the 3 vendors.
So that's a very good point, Dr. Valdez. And I want you to know that, remember also last school year, we cut our athletic season short, remember? We really pretty much a lot of our spring sports, either we didn't complete them. And I wanted to know that this company, actually, that same company we're renewing with, which is Texas Insurance, did give us some money back. Did a kind of prorated, if you will, last year. So we get some, and I don't know if Coach Leal is on the call, because I know him and other community members, or maybe can.
Yes, sir. This is Anthony Sorolla. Actually, I'm sitting with Dr. Aceves and talking through her platform. But they did issue a credit, and during the evaluation process, we did ask that question, that if the athletic season were to be cut short, would they issue a credit? And they did confirm that they would. Of course, that was done verbally. We know that they did this past year actually issue the credit. So we can confirm that, and we did discuss that with them.
Is there any way?
Also, just for clarification purposes, it was also part of the RFP. It was part of the proposal itself that there be a proration.
Okay.
Is there any way that they can, I guess, maybe give us some figures on what that proration would look like from all 3? Just to make sure that we're looking at from a financial perspective. I mean, I know which one y'all are recommending, but when I'm saying going back to the 3 and having them submit best and final offer, plus with options of what is the savings that they would bring to the district if not all the sports are deployed, just so that we can have more numbers.
Yeah, and just to add to what Dr. Valdez is saying, if I may, was any of the folks that submitted consider the COVID-19
Discount.
obviously it's a packet. You input any type of data in there saying that, this is how much you're going to save because of COVID-19, or something that that would assist, obviously, the district. Same things that Dr. saying, but using it from a COVID-19 perspective.
The one digit I can tell you is I do know that the credit that we received from Texas Insurance this past year was for $45,000, and that was for COVID-19. But that was not something that I do recall discussing with the other vendors. So we can in fact.
I have a concern because we can go back and ask them because we've already disclosed what the pricing on one of them was. It is an RFP, so we would have to follow where you negotiate with one, then the other, then the third one. You have to rank them in that order. But since we've now disclosed, you would have to reject the proposals, I believe. I'm trying to confirm, but I think you would need to reject the proposals and we would need to re-advertise.
Re-advertise. Yeah, and maybe with that condition, Doctor,
if I may add, the only concern with re-advertising is that we will not get it in time. The current one will end on the 31st. So we need a new one by August 1st.
right, but we're not having any sports right now. So I think because of that, we might have a little bit more time. To me, I mean, this is how I'm thinking. And I guess I'm thinking from a financial perspective. What if we don't even have sports all year and we paid $500,000? So I'd like to see something more concrete, more like, okay, this is the price. But then if there's no sports in the fall, this is what your price would be. And if there is no sport the entire year, then this is what the price would be, because this is a very unusual situation that we're having right now. So I would hate for the district to pay $500,000 and then we didn't even use it. Do you see where I'm coming from?
So what I'm hearing is we need to go back and okay, we can do it, but it's gonna push everything back, and
We won't be covered when we start any type of practices, correct? Because when are we looking at everybody going back for practice if they were to go back?
so
Until September?
probably in September, yeah.
And we need 45 days to go out, or is it 30?
Okay, I mean, we can go back. I mean, we will have to kind of pretty much go back from like scratch again, and build all again as part of the proposal, if I'm not mistaken, right, Ms. Cancino?
Yeah, and I'm thinking also, Dr. Azayiz, I mean, worst case scenario, the current, I think we currently have Texas Insurance, maybe they could extend it a month more if we needed to make sure that we have the proposals and to make sure that our students don't lose coverage.
We'll have to talk with them. Yes, Doc. We'll have to talk to them about that. That's possible.
I mean, I don't know, Ms. Watts. I mean, how do you feel, Colonel?
I think, yes, especially when it comes to saving the money. And I think that if possible, like you mentioned, I think that the extension would be very helpful. So we will not be, so basically we'll be covered even though we're not going to be utilizing right now any of the sports or anything like that. But still, we would be able to get this information and we would also be covered in case that it would need to be covered, that way our students would be covered and we wouldn't be worried about that, because we want to make sure that they're covered. And if they could extend it, I think that would be the best solution for a district right now. That's my point of view right now, because of the money that we're spending and which is we're going to. We just want to make sure that those other people also get the same. It was only disclosed to one person, I believe. I mean, one agency and not the rest. And is that correct, Ms. Cancino?
Which was disclosed, ma'am?
The one where they gave the discount for the COVID.
Well, they were the only ones that provided this year because they're the current ones. As far as we put it in our RFP itself,
did you put it there?
All the proposers knew that we would be asking for a proration in the event the athletic season was done. Now, this is not just for practices; it also covers other UIL events.
Oh yes.
It also covers anything where the student would be traveling anywhere. It's not just the athletic portion.
Okay, so do you think that it would be doable if we were, Ms. Cancino, if you were to ask for an extension?
I don't know, ma'am, if the company would be willing to extend.
Okay.
We did not reach out to them and asked.
Dr. Aziz, is it possible maybe to see if we can reach out to the insurance company and see if it's necessary to extend 1 month just so that we can go out for proposals again with that understanding that we want to see numbers for whoever submits on what they would look like if we don't even have sports period at all, or if we only have them in the spring and not in the fall. I'd like to see something a little bit more concrete as far as financial numbers.
Well, we can reach out, not a problem, yeah. I mean, we would have to make sure we have some type of insurance, I agree, just in case, right? Anything happens.
Right.
Table this? Okay, so we can be
So,
able to table
Yes, I'm
this?
making the motion to, I guess, reject it, to reject, or,
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
if you want us to go out and re-advertise, then you would have to reject these proposals.
Okay, is there a motion to reject?
yes, I make the motion to reject.
Motion made by Dr. Valdez,
I second it.
second by Colonel Perez. Mr. De Los Rios, how do you vote?
In favor.
I also vote in favor and motion passes. Next, we have consent agenda. Any board members, any discussion, any clarifications that you might need from consent agenda?
Oh, we got Alicia back.
We do, oh, good, good, good. Okay, then I need a motion for consent agenda.
Make the motion to approve.
Motion made by Mr. De Los Rios,
I second.
second by Dr. Valdez. Mr. Perez?
Favor?
Ms. Reyna?
In favor.
I also vote in favor and motion passes. Next, we have Ms. Linda Romero's for the governance conservator monthly report for May and June 2020.
Good afternoon, Madam President,
Good afternoon.
members of the board, Dr. Aziz. Actually, I have 2 reports this time. I have May and June, but I think we can just move forward to June's and review that one, if that's okay. May's pretty much covered in the June report. And Dr. Valdez, under the governance, you do have that section about the training now on track. You had asked about that?
Yay, thank you, thank you, thank you.
You have that. I do want to point out that the LSG reporting is temporarily postponed because of the academic assessments. So it's really hard to actually do this report because there's so much that I used to do that I can't do anymore. But there are some things that I need to bring to you that I need to mention. So on the governance, pretty much I think that's going to stay like that. On the financial accountability, talked to Mrs. Cancino, and she says that she's pretty much got her staff. So I don't believe there's a need for any hiring in the present or anything like that. And unless in the near future she needs more staff. But she's mentioned that right now the staff that she has, she's okay with that. And we're just slightly off of the cash flow. But other than that, everything's looking good there. Then we have the academic accountability, and that's on hold too because of the assessments that have been suspended. You have one new area that wasn't in the prior reports, and that's because you have a complaint report that was turned in to the district in June regarding the individual graduation committees. And there were some anomalies in the 2018 graduates. And what the district has done is created a plan that they'll be responding to all the way through December 31, where they'll address all of these issues. And they have until December 31 to do that. And that was merely that you had almost 15% of graduates that graduated with an individual graduation committee when you should have no more than 10%. And that is the reasoning why this popped up whenever TEA does analysis of data. And then we're still, the last time we talked regarding the other activities, which was the monitor of the self-funded health insurance, we were going out for bid on the stop loss insurance. I had hoped that in July we would have it, but I understand that we'll have it sometime in the early part of August for the stop loss results on that. And then I do want to point out something. You had asked Dr. Valdez that I think it was in April, in the April meeting, that you had mentioned something about, you know, we're doing this, we're doing that. Mrs. Romero's, when if anything, do you think you'll be leading us or anything like that? And one of the things that needs to happen is this individual graduation committee response has to take place by December 31. The other thing is that the district has 4 D campuses and 1 F campus, and we need to have the F campus be upgraded to a minimum of a D at least. And with assessments right now on hold, well, that's going to be a while, I would venture to say. But that is what I have as a report. Are there any questions?
Nope.
Anybody else?
Nobody?
Nope. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, the time is 1:28, and we're going to executive session as authorized by the Texas government. Code section 551.071, 551.072, 551.073, 551.074, 551.075, 551.076, 551.082, 551.083, and 551.084. We'll go into executive session. Thank you.
And I sent the link to it, right, to all of our members and teams from there.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
She's gonna send us $1,000 bill for that. Yeah, the party or what? Oh, that's what.
So Dr. AZ, Ms. Watson, send it again to me, please. I didn't get it.
Okay.
Whenever you see him, I'll be waiting. I'm gonna get out. Thanks.
We're not gonna have any. Yeah. They're
We're back to open session to take possible actions on matters discussed in executive session. I have to open the door. Tony got locked out. Can they hear me?
Oh, you have to go back to the. You have to go back to the other link.
Oh, where?
Oh no, I think you're there.
No, I'm good. I'm good. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear.
Okay, good. Okay.
We can hear.
Yes. Okay. Okay. A is discussion and possible action to approve superintendent's recommendation of personnel, approval of recommendation of professionals to include hiring and termination recommendation. I need a motion.
Ms. Watts, I don't know if everybody's back.
Is everybody back?
No, I think we're still missing some people.
I think we're just missing David, isn't it?
Yes.
David.
Oh, there's the superintendent. Okay.
We got
Alicia, Colonel.
Alicia, yourself, myself, and Ms. Watts. We still
Okay, yeah.
have a quorum. Oh no, we need David.
Let me check and see if he's out here
I
somewhere.
checked, that's why I got locked out.
Nope.
He's not in this building.
So is he not back yet?
Let me double check.
We're checking.
Well, even if he's not back, we still have a quorum.
Right. Okay, we'll continue. A, discussion and possible action to approve superintendent's recommendation of personnel approval of recommendation for professionals to include hire and termination recommendation. We need a motion for that, let's discuss in executive session.
I make the motion to approve.
Motion made by Dr. Valdez,
I second it.
second by Colonel Perez. Ms. Reina, how do you vote?
In favor.
I vote in favor, motion passes. B, discussion and possible action to approve Administrator Chapter 21 probationary contract for the 2020-2021 school year. No action. C, discussion and possible action to approve non-Chapter 21 contract for 2020-2021 school year. I would need a motion for that item is discussed in executive session.
I make the motion to approve.
Motion made by Dr. Valdez,
I second.
second by Colonel Perez. Ms. Reina?
Favor.
I vote in favor, motion passes. D, discussion possible action of settlement regarding Gavera, yeah, versus Donna ISD. May I have a motion to approve as discussed in executive session?
I make the motion to approve.
Motion made by Dr. Valdez,
Second.
second by Colonel Perez. Ms. Reina?
In favor.
I also vote in favor, motion passes. E, discussion and possible action of level 3 grievance of Nancy Wogenreef.
I make the motion to grant remedy as requested.
Motion made by Dr. Valdez,
I second it.
second by Colonel Perez. Ms. Reina?
In favor.
I vote in favor, motion passes. Discussion possible action on level 3 grievance of Erica Sandoval is discussed in executive session. The motion? There is no motion, okay. No action. F, discussion and possible action to approve pending or complicated litigation settlement matters and/or matters where the professional duty under state board requires private consultation with the school attorney. No action. I need a motion to adjourn.
Make the motion to adjourn.
Motion made by Colonel Perez,
Second.
second by Dr. Valdez. Ms. Reina?
In favor.
I vote in favor, motion passes. The time is 2:21. Thank you for attending.
Pleasure, everyone.
the meeting.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Stay
Stay
safe, be safe.
All right, we'll see ya.
Seeing you all. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.